Hello, I am Gamer. I played a lot of games in 2024, and a lot of them were pretty good. Worth talking about, you might even say. So today we're starting a new tradition. I am calling it G3, Goose's Greatest Games, where every year I come on over and tell you about all the stuff I played in 2024. The Game Awards isn't very fair to games that came out in December, and some games that come out after the Game Awards don't even get a chance. There's also the fact that the Game Awards suck donk, so let's just say this is the better Game Awards now. Sorry this took so long, there was a lot I wanted to say. No time for chatter now. Let's begin, starting with the honorable and dishonorable mentions via a recap of this year's games. Astrobot finally might be the wake-up call Sony needs to actually get them to use their older IPs. Princess Peach Showtime made me realize how long a year actually is. Crazy how that game and Peak were released in the same year. Black Myth Wukong is hopefully getting people tired of Souls-likes, whereas Another Crab's Treasure has been the only Souls-like that's captured my attention for more than 2 minutes. Speaking of Souls-likes, Nightmare Kart was nearly released, then promptly reskinned before release due to FromSoft deciding that Bloodborne doesn't even deserve a free fan-made racing game. But aside from that, fun. Zenless Zone Zero gave some amazing-looking character designs that I'll probably never see in action because I don't have the budget to roll for them. TCG's Shop Simulator sent me into a trance state where that's all I played for a solid week before I snapped out of it. Pal World finally got sued by Nintendo and strangely had a lot of defenders despite clearly infringing on copyright, but I'm way too late on that news to hop on a soapbox. Web fishing was nice and cozy, I made a video about it, you already know. Liar's Bar was pretty fun aside from the shitty AI voice work. Silk Song was... oh, wait, yeah, still not released. Well, Deadlock is sure to be something, eventually, and Marvel Rivals will hopefully be the Overwatch killer, despite just being Overwatch 3. Dragon Quest III Remake reminded me how much I hate the 2D HD art style. Super Mario Party Jamboree drags on way longer than it should, but it's fine enough. And Dragon Ball Sparking Zero makes me pray that Namco will give One Piece that same treatment someday. And no new Punch-Out game yet. Whoop-de-doo, I guess. There were a lot of polarizing games this year, but I think overall it was a net positive, even if by a small margin. Anyways, it's time for the GGG. Goose's Greatest Games! Here we go.
It looks as if our cuckoo clock is broken.
Thank Goodness You're Here is not a very long game, or a very hard game. Most people are done with it after 2 hours at most, but the majority of those 2 hours is pure laughter, which is one of the biggest pros any game can have, at least to me. It's even better since it's British humor. Thank Goodness You're Here is a wonderful little sandbox of a game that rewards you for interacting with as many people as possible, as often as possible. The kooky animation style and the calm music often contrast and complement each other to amplify the humor of any given moment. And when you look below the surface, you can see an interesting case study of people who try to be of too much help without much care for themselves, which I can relate to since I was a lot like that when I was younger. But anywho, very fun game. I suppose it's the lack of actual gameplay that's putting it at the bottom of my list. It's more of a movie or an interactive cartoon than anything, but thank goodness it exists. You see what I did there?
I want to be a yo-yo man, he cried. Make me a yo-yo man. But the yo-yo master did not answer. He just kept on yoing.
At the start of this year, I wasn't really platformer-pilled like I used to be. For most of my life, I've been a big fan of platformers like Mario and Crash Bandicoot and the like, but it's slowly been dwindling ever since I got my PC. I haven't played very much, so suppose I forgot where I came from. I certainly missed it, and Penny's Big Breakaway brought it all back. Oh my god, what a fun game! You can tell this is by the guys that made Sonic Mania because it's peak! It's amazing! The music, the movement, the cute penguins, the art direction, the music, the movement, I love it! It's also unbelievably good, and I would adore it if we got a sequel to this game in the future. Hopefully the near future, but I'll let them have time to cook that up.
Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
Despite coming out at the very end of the year, Anton Blast blows most of the games that came out in 2024 out of the water. A lot of people will compare it to Pizza Tower, but in terms of art direction, I vastly prefer this game for the most part. The gameplay itself is a lot more unforgiving than Pizza Tower, mostly because, you literally can't die in Pizza Tower. But once you start getting used to the controls of the game, it becomes so fun to go into a trance-like state and blast through happy hour after happy hour. It's funny, it's high velocity, it can be overwhelming at times, it's kind of difficult, it wears its inspiration on its sleeve, and it's a blast. I hope we can continue this trend of lightning-fast platformers inspired by old cartoons into 2025. We have a 2-year streak right now. Let's keep it up, people. I think I'll make a fully fledged video on Anton Blast sometime this year, but we'll see what happens. There's a lot I want to say.
Is that the Grim Reaper?
Persona 3 Reload is one of those long games. Probably the longest game I played last year, though not the game I've played the longest. I'm already a fan of Persona. Persona 5 really changed my preferences in terms of music and aesthetics when I played it as a freshman in high school, and the original Persona 3, from what I've heard, is odd. I mean, not being able to control your party members is absurd to me. I'm glad I got a chance to experience the story in some way at least, because Persona 3 Reload, albeit a bit repetitive at times, is really fun. You know, on top of that lovely Atlas art style, engaging story, and the godly music this series often has. I don't think many RPGs are going to be dethroning Persona 5 in my mind, but Persona 3 is definitely in the top 5 RPGs I've played.
Ether. A savage world.
Platform fighters are basically the Amigoos genre. I grew up on Smash Bros. Brawl, both versions of Smash 4, and Smash Ultimate. They're really fun games, but I wouldn't say they're the best for those with competitive spirits. And I feel this especially after learning traditional fighting games. However, the exception to this rule is Rivals of Aether. That game is phenomenal, and I got a good couple hundred hours out of that game, whether it be playing with friends online or dicking around with workshop characters. And ever since I backed the Kickstarter for Rivals 2, I have been ecstatic for its release. And now that it's out, well, I'm very optimistic. The gameplay loop has changed a little bit, but if it didn't, it'd just feel like Rivals 1.5. The new 3D art style looks stunning, my babies Crag and Edalus are beautiful, and they're just as fun to play as before. My only complaint is the lack of a tutorial currently, but then again, that'll probably change throughout the rest of the year, so we'll see. I am so excited to see how this game evolves, and I cannot wait to play Lorena when she comes out. And I double cannot wait for the workshop to come out. Having all the characters be in 3D is going to be insane. I can't imagine how many different video game character models are just going to be shoved into this game. It's going to be so funny. In short, this is my fighting game of the year without a doubt. In all honesty, is it fair to even compare UFO 50 to most other games? I mean, this is 50 games in one. Granted, not every game in this collection is a 60-hour-long winner, but the amount of games out of the 50 that are amazing is a crazy ratio. Party House, Devilition, Avianos, Rock on Island, Overbold, Valbrace, Quibble Race, Pin Golf, Bushido Ball, Pilot Quest, Waldorf's fucking Journey? All banger games! And that's only 1/5 of the game. Fifth? Fifth? How do you say that word? Fifth? That doesn't sound right to say. Each one fits with its own music, art style, achievements, and lore on the fictional console series all of these games released on. The 8-year-long development time was more than worth the wait for the product we were given. UFO 50 is a glorious game that is a must-have for any PC owner. Genuinely, if you're trying to get someone into PC gaming, I would recommend UFO 50 as one of the first things they get on Steam. There's something for almost everyone here. Platformers, arcade-style games, RPGs, dungeon crawlers, horror, roguelike, puzzle games, everything in the... I will reiterate, play UFO 50. And for that price, $2 a game, you are stealing from Mossmouth. I don't know what you guys were expecting. Balatro is my game of the year without a doubt. I made an almost half-hour video about how much I love that game, but for those who don't want to watch that, I'll try and summarize. Extremely simple formula, but a ridiculously addictive gameplay loop. Beautiful aesthetics and art directions combined with the dreamlike music really make for a magical experience that I feel is guaranteed to hook most people. I love that this whole game was made by one dude. This sort of one-in-a-million happening gives me hope as a creator. Maybe my own future games could do the same thing. Obviously not in the same way, but you know what I mean. Balatro took the world by storm, and I am no exception. I cannot stop playing this game, and I will continue playing this game until Steam goes down the drain. Or I die, whichever comes first. But yeah, I can't think of a more deserving game for the spot of Best Game of 2024. Alas, this concludes G3 2024. Quite an impressive group of games this year. Mostly indies, but I am very interested in what's coming out next year. Some of my most anticipated games for next year are definitely Rift of the Necrodancer, Monster Hunter Wilds, Doom the Dark Ages, whenever Mina the Hollower's coming out, whenever Silksong's coming out, among other indie games. I definitely need to get back into Nintendo stuff again. There's a lot of little games that are hiding in there probably. But that's all we've got for now. Tune in next year for more yapping about games. For now, let's check a look at the fan art and headliners while I close up shop. Follow me on my TikTok, Twitter, and Blue Sky. I make a decent post on those every now and then you can take a look at. Worst case scenario, you don't follow me, so what's the harm? I also have a Discord server, the Hoos of Goose. There you can hang out with other people who are fans of me and punch out and all that kind of stuff my fans are obsessed with. I'm there too, as well as the astute members of my stream team. Still trying to think of a better name for them though. Goose Troop, maybe? I don't know. Also, hey, become a channel member. I call them headliners because it's a cooler name. You get access to emotes on YouTube, a special channel in the Discord server exclusive to headliners, your name in the credits of videos, polls in the community tab dictating the priority of uploads, your name in the credits of videos, and a little doodle of your choice alongside your name at the end. To get that, though, you'll have to join the Discord server to let me know how you'd like me to draw your head, or what you want me to draw in place. Finally, if you have fan art of me you'd like to share, tag me in it on social media or post it in the channel of my Discord server, and I'll put it at the end of my videos. Okay, that's everything from me today. My name is Goose, I thank you very much for watching, and, clean out your fridge soon. There's way too much half-empty Tupperware with 2-week-old food in there. Go clean up that fridge. Now get lost!